Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. A little late getting my video out tonight, but that's just how it goes when you got a busy life. I know I've talked about this several times in the last few days, but it's important, and I don't know. It's important. We need to talk about it. People need to be aware of it. And what I'm speaking of is this whole, illegals everywhere, a bunch of dogs running down the road. Hold on, I don't want to hit one. Oh, they're going to chase me now. Anyways, it's these illegals that have been pouring into this country by the thousands every day, hundreds of thousands a month, millions a year. And I think we're getting close to being at that tipping point. Like, we're close, little close. And what I mean by that is that crime rates across the board have gone up considerably, and they have been for a while. But it's getting to the point now that it's becoming noticeable, like really noticeable. You don't have to go looking for the stats. You don't have to go looking for what's going on. You just see it because it's out there in the news. And very horrendous, violent acts that's been happening right here in our own country. And a lot of it's because of the illegals that are coming across. Don't get on the comments and tell me how horrible of a person I am for just saying that I'm racist or big. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. You're wasting your time. Most of these people that are coming here, regardless of what their intentions are, they're coming here from third world countries. They're coming here from countries that they're used to totalitarian dictatorships. They're used to very strict police states. They're used to violence. They're used to tribal, sectarian type violence. The value that they put on human life is typically a lot less than we do here in the United States, here in the Western world. Many of them don't come here with a, biblical Christian background. It's just a lot. And some of these third world countries where many of them are from, the type of violence that is commonplace in those countries don't even get close. I mean, it's not even in the wildest dreams in America that kind of stuff would happen. The things here in the United States that we consider, horrible, violent crimes, they're nothing compared to what happens in some of these other countries. And a lot of those people are coming here, and some of them have a hatred for us. Not all. And I know I sound like I'm painting a really broad brush. And I know that's how it sounds. The truth is, I don't mean that every single one of them. There's some good people. But I'm sure there has to be, statistically, there has to be at least one or two good ones. I mean, I know they're breaking the law just by coming here, but, I don't know. Maybe there isn't. The point is that I think we're getting at that tipping point where the crime, the concentration, the amount of these people that are here and that are coming, that it's going to get worse significantly, probably pretty fast. Timelines, everyone always wants to know. I don't know. This week, next month, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, I don't know. But any of those, it's certainly not a very far off time. And we're seeing there's just so much of it happening. And people are becoming aware of it. And there's levels of fear that are increasing. And with each increase in fear and increase in violence, chaos could ensue pretty quickly. And we're watching our country collapse, folks. I mean, I know what's in my heart, but that it's hard to put it into words because it's just so insane that this has been happening for so long, and now it's gotten so bad. And I personally think that we're past that point of no return. That there's too much here. There's too much damage that's been done. That there's not really a way to fix it. That we're not going to go back. We're not going to fix the problem, even if the floodgates were shut today. We can't fix the damage that's already been done. And it's going to start creeping out of these big cities, and it's going to get into the medium and the smaller cities. It already is. You're going to start seeing it closer and closer to you. We're going to see more and more horrific things. And could we see more regional violence? Could we see more where they're joining up as in gangs and moving around and doing things? All these things are on the table. And then, of course, the potential violence for pushback from Americans that say we're not going to have this anymore. And then the government stepping in. It's just a really bad cascading effect of what could happen. And with the amount that's been coming across, so much, and then now we're starting to see more, we're starting to hear more, people are talking more, and maybe the actual numbers aren't that significantly more than they were 6 months ago, but just the fact that it's noticed more, it's talked about more, that it's bringing more light to it, which means that there's going to be more hatred and more fear, and more of them coming over, and more of them pushing back both ways. It's just it's a bad situation. I don't know how to be eloquent in that, but it's a bad situation. Really bad. And I don't want to scare everyone. I don't want people to panic. I don't want you to go hide in your bunkers. Not that most of you probably do have them, but you know what I mean. I want you to, number one, think clearly. I want you to be in prayer. I want you to be prepping up. I want you to be coming up with a plan of what you're going to do when things start falling apart, and then not be shocked when it does. That's usually the biggest thing. No matter how much prepping you do, when the bad stuff that you're preparing for happens, it catches people off guard still, and they choke, and they freeze, and they don't remember what to do. We can't do that. When you start seeing this stuff happen, you need to know what your plan is and how to get it going into motion. And if that's closing yourself off more and more from the outside world, staying home more often. I was talking to a friend, and we said it's gonna get to the point, it may already be in some areas, probably is, but even out here, I mean, we're not really noticing it out here because we're very rural, but we probably will at some point. And at some point, just a simple act of going shopping or going out and running errands, anything like that, is probably only going to be able to be done by the men. That, women and children going out to the grocery store together, even a group of women, if you have like a little community, or just two friends, two sisters, adult sisters taking their children out to go grocery shopping, all that kind of stuff. It's going to get to the point where that just can't happen. That the men are going to have to take the shopping list and go in groups, because when it comes to defense and stuff, the men can, they're going to just fight differently when they don't have to be so focused on protecting the women and children. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it could easily get to that very soon, that you have to make that decision. Maybe make that decision for those of you that still have your children in school, to say we got to pull them. For those of you that work in certain areas, maybe change jobs, work from home if you're able to. But really, it's the bigger decisions you need to be making and working on is becoming as self-sufficient as possible. Because when you become self-sufficient, you don't have to go out as much. Then the only risk that you're at is just protecting what you have, protecting your own little fortress. You're not protecting your fortress and then the moving mobile fortress of your family all over the place. You understand that? You following me? We have to start getting to a point that we just don't need to go around all this, because it's going to get bad. You can't have 7.5 million, which is the government's estimate. I don't believe that number, but we're just going to go with that for now. I think it's probably double that, or if not more. But 7.5 million in the last 3 years. That's huge. It'd be like the second or third largest city in America. That's massive. And there's hundreds of thousands, 300 plus thousand a month coming across the border. So it means it's compounding at a pretty high rate, folks. Getting bad fast. You know, 1 million a quarter at their rate. At the number that they're telling us. We got to be seriously getting ready. You need to have your head on a swivel all the time, especially if you're in a little bit bigger city, if your area isn't quite as rural, if there's already, you know, cultural, ethnic diversity in your area, or if you just know for a fact that they're coming there already. Whatever it is, you need to be having your head on a swivel. Your situational awareness needs to be notched up to a much higher level right now. You should always have a way to defend yourself, and you should always have an exit plan. You should never go anywhere. You should never enter a building without some sort of evac plan. How you can get out of there, where you're going to go, where the exits are, what you're going to do if something happens, and you got to get out of there. We all need to be doing this. We need to have solid plans of how to communicate with each other when we get separated. You need to be working on just making and creating and growing your own stuff as much as possible, so it limits the amount of time you have to be away. And then get okay with not going out all the time. Some people, they have to leave the home every day, all day long, constantly gone. You need to get used to living at home and then work on your fortifications there, work on your security there. Because it's at that point. It's beyond that point. You should have been doing this a while ago. You better be doing it now. Because I think we're very, very close to a tipping point. You need to be getting ready. Folks, get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.